Well, welcome back to Factorio MSX Gigabase. Well, guess what, guys? I mean, this hasn't actually passed that much, and I didn't do very much other than track down a minor bug that I think may have been affecting this. It was basically in the supply, the subscriptions. Supply and subscriptions more or less go together. There was a little bit of data corruption still, so I have fixed that, and now this seems to be working okay. There's a lot of blue in there, but I think that's just because we are building 660 close enough. Even if we call it 650 level 3 modules per minute, we've been doing that 10 minutes, probably not an hour. No, they'd have been winding up at the beginning of that hour, but over 10 minutes certainly. They're going to slow down and stop again probably soon too, but that's beside the point. It doesn't really matter. We're also very, very close to Faster Than Light Theory A finishing. That's got to be less than 1 million, so what's that? Is it 500,000 even? If it's 500,000 or less, it might even finish this episode, but we will wait and see. The thing that's really exciting, guys, launches every episode. Maybe that's what I can start promising, because this is mainly modules and we already had some sitting around. Guys, we're done. We're done with modules. Actually, what I'm going to do is I don't want this to continue delivering stuff. Let's rip these guys out. We can rebuild them for whatever we need for the next product. Whoops, we don't need you. Or you. There we go. So yeah, 25 of the command centers. It's quite a spaceship, this one, when you get 25 of some of these things. 0 of 25 at the moment. Let's head to rocket cargo. Let us also tell our train to come and join us, in case we decide we want to do something else. Hashtag silo. Off you go. I mean, we could ride that train, but you know, it's sort of arriving in style with the goods of the moment, the very expensive goods. There's 20,000 level 3 modules on board this train, effectively, of each type. Not just one of them, of each type. So 60,000 level 3 modules in all. What are we going to do next is the question. Let me see here. What have we got? We won't be doing that one next. Hull component done. Protection field done. Thruster done. Fuel cells done. What about habitation? Habitation is a heavy plastic consumer. Very heavy plastic consumer, but otherwise it's a fairly light one. Or life support possibly, but maybe we need to give the modules a break. Astrometrics is a lot of processing units, but otherwise it's not too bad. I mean, I guess on the basis of that, maybe habitation is the way to go, but that is a lot of plastic. That's 200,000 plastic over the 25 of them that we have to launch. Not counting the plastic that is within the other bits. It's actually 400,000 plastics. I notice it says 16,000 plastic down below. Mind you, that can be a bit confusing, so I'm not entirely sure if that's the case. But yeah, it's a lot of plastic, but maybe that's the best one to do. Here we are, kind of stuck in Circuit Alley again. I did have to sort out a minor thing up here. That one there was one of these rather than one of those, which meant that trains came up here and got stuck in the wrong, you know, behind like this one or behind this one instead of in these ones. Changing it to a chain signal and not having any signaling along here fixes that problem. Ah, here we are. Hi guys. Ready for some more action? Where are you going? You are going there until circuit. Great. Okay, let's put the command center in here as a legal component to launch. You know, we could actually put the other ones in there right now as well and not have to do this. Possibly the only reason why I am still doing it is that it means that we get to see the launches. I don't know if that's something you want to do if you're getting sick of launches, but we are going to run out of these things soon. There aren't that many more to do, so we'll be down to basically 125 after this episode. It's not too many. How's our stats here going? They're still well under control. This hasn't even reached maximum yet. Do a minute. 12k. And these ones fairly low. Doesn't really matter. Let's zoom out for this one. I think they're all ready to go again. Basically 3 synchronized launches of 8 plus 1. Pretty easy, really. And the rockets like to talk for themselves. Let's have a look in this one. See how fast it goes up. I think I've mentioned this before, but basically these silos, if you have the maximum number of beacons with speed modules in them, and productivity modules in the silo itself, which is important because it's actually the fastest configuration. Having speed modules in the silo does not result in an improved time to complete the filling of the silo. It's better to have prod modules, in addition for the fact that it saves resources. You'll actually find that the because the modules are additive, not multiplicative, and the way they work the formulas, that is a fact. I actually tested it. So you definitely want prod modules in these, even though obviously you want prod modules in these because what you put in them is very expensive. And there's just one more to go. Which guy has it? Down here. I guess it makes sense. There's going to be one of these 4 pretty much that get the overuse. 3304. Not by much though, is it? How's this going? Yeah, that's quite a big list. That should mean that things like the production of green circuits, red circuits, and blue circuits should spike up to their maximums. Kind of why I did the heavy module build at this point, as in the three types of modules. All the other components other than the final drive don't require 3 sets of modules. There you go, lonely last. Because of course this uses quite a lot of circuitry as well if you think about the rocket control units that it needs. 25 command, all done. These things will look after. They're topping up, it's fine. I already looked at this, there weren't any outstandings. So let's go back to satellite components, SpaceX, not satellite, SpaceX components. We might be seeing in the changeover to faster than light Theory B, which is still a pretty cheap science actually, even though it's going to be 12,000 red and green per minute, and it's you know, the green is about 6 times as expensive as the red, so it's good to have got slightly more expensive things out of the way, but it shouldn't really be that much of an issue. All these guys all quiet. Red having to supply things over time. So the other thing, of course, is I still haven't got any further with this one. Now might be not a bad time to do it, since it's quiet, so there's not that much demand. But that also means there's probably more plates, so I'm going to have to wait longer. It's probably a bit boring to do it on during the episode, so we'll just see where we get to. What did we decide we were going to build? This one, wasn't it? Plastic and steel. Okay. Probably have quite a lot of both of those hanging around. That is the advantage. All the components basically are just slightly different mixtures of fairly much the same fairly small group of material. Basically the plastic, the steel, the modules, and the low density structures. A couple of minor variations thrown in, but it's really just a combination of those, so we effectively get a bit of a recycle going on just by making all the modules, well, the components in the same spot. So, let us see. Yes, that's quite a lot of stuff in there, isn't it? First things first, ditch our bots. That's not going to work, is it? Because those are full. But we have some more. Good. Let's do it for these as well. With a bit of luck, that will sort out the build. Now, we need one of these guys. Habitation. Habitation. Of course we can't use those, but we can use those, so that will be fine. Habitation times 25. We use processing units, so they can start up. We also use steel and plastic. So, whoops. That one can start up. Low density structures. And steel is the other one. I think I'll set this one up to do steel. Four components. 1, 2, 3, 4 inserters. These guys, which is the one that uses a lot? Plastic is 8,000. Okay. And there we go. Now, we don't need modules, we do need these two, and we need steel. Okay. Let's sort out this one first. If train's on the way, less than P, bring us plastic. Okay. I am thinking of changing this trains on the way entity. So at the moment it tells you the number of trains that are actually headed here, but doesn't count the train that's sitting in the station. So hence we end up with this extra confusion of having to hook up to the station and get some more information. I'm thinking I'll make it actually include the train that's waiting here, and then you can probably simplify this a little bit, just make it easier for people to use. You are trains on the way, less than P, and you are processing units. You are trains on the way is less than P, and you are LDS. And over here, I might do it in this one. Make it steel. Steel becomes Q. If train's on the way, less than Q, get S. Okay. Probably put that away and even that away for now. How are we doing? We already have 2. Habitation there. 2. They both made it into there. Alright. Let's make that a request. Actually, 1's fine. It's only making them 1 at a time. We don't actually need it to be 2. And it doesn't matter even if it tries to pile them all on here. We only need a 2 carriage for these like 250s, 100s, and 50 items. They're the only ones that really made that useful. The rest are just fine. 2 products finished. How much plastic do we have here? We're definitely in all cases ordering yes, good, yes, good, yes, good, yes. We're getting it from the these guys as well, the buffer chests. That's very important. Okay. How are you going? What are you short on? Oh, there you go. So it's the low density structures that take a little bit longer to fill because they're only 10 a time and 1600. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's about the right ratio. It's because that's only 10 a time. These are 12 a time that it's sort of gaining. But But yeah, that's fine. Alright, what we will do with our remaining time is have a quick check of the factory. In particular, coal. Coal has gone. You, my friend, are going to use this coal from now on. That's crude oil. Use coal 7. Oops. Coal 7. Until inventory full. And that's it. Off you go. Now, this thing needs to be removed. The easiest way to remove it is probably to come to iron 3. So that is what we'll do. But before we do it, let's also check on the health of this 7.1 million. That is still going to take a while to clear, but it's definitely getting thinner. The other couple of things that we need to check on is here. I kind of do want this channel gorged out before I move this over, but it does look like we probably need to put down one of these. Just so it's continually got a supply to draw from. No point letting it run out. And how is this one going? This one is really struggling with only 300,000 left. We probably should repurpose one of these trains. What about up here? 970 ore left. We need to repurpose one of those trains as well. How many trains do we have coming in here? 5. What about down here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Okay, and what about this one? 5. So I'm not sure how many I want to have coming in. Do I open up this mine? Probably. It's probably time. So let's do that. Not that one. That's kind of short, isn't it? Maybe it's not. Not that. I don't actually know what I've done with that blueprint now. Which is a bit silly. Maybe that's it. So what we do basically is stamp that down, and the bots finish off building this one. We then go back to here. 300,000. That's still quite a bit, but still. Add iron 30 to the list until inventory full. Go, whoops, delete that one. So there's one to send. And down here we know that 852 is not going to last very long. So you can also have iron 30 until inventory full. So I'll send it there now. Let us go to a location where we can clean out that coal mine, which I think is iron 3 down here. It's still a bit of a hike, but it's better than nothing. Hashtag iron 3. go. This is getting tantalizingly close. It's only one of 4 though, and they do get harder with each one. They still aren't absolutely caning it in terms of production yet, but whatever. If this happens fast enough, the building of the hull components, we could even potentially launch them before this episode is out. We are going to get to a point where I'm going to have to, we'll run out of components that we want to launch. Basically, we want to launch everything probably except the fusion reactor and the FTL drive, which we'll leave for the end after we've done all the science, and I have expanded blue circuit production. So basically I will probably rip this slot out as well once we are done here. In fact, what I'm going to do is put my put my bots back in, drop a couple of chests so I can clear out all this stuff that I don't need so much. I am going to need you guys. I'll keep those. I'll keep you. Yep, that's it. Probably don't need all 3 of those, but that's fine. I wonder if it would actually pay me to manually drive the rubbish train up here, just so I could feed it directly. I mean, I could create a rubbish train stop up here, but it sort of seems pointless. So, don't need you. Don't need you. That's not too many. Let's get rid of it. That's a lot of wood. We have no trains, so I'm going to have to get rid of all of this. Is that it? That is it. How much of this do we have? It's not that much, but I think it will over flood us. I guess we'll see pretty soon. I mean, this is what you can do when you do sort of infinite vanilla research. You can pare down. I mean, this is what we're basically doing. We're not replacing this coal mine. We're reducing down our total handling by 1 outpost with all of the trappings that go with it, so that is just a net saving, which is part of the reason I think the single purpose research should always be able to outperform a flexible factory like mine. Should be able to. Yes, I can keep ahead of the curve. Yeah. It's just fun building these. I'm not really that competitive. I don't care. I'd like to think that my building philosophy is good and that I can produce a decent result. But I don't know for sure. What else? I don't need this many of those. Let's, yeah, give me 50 only. Oh, this is in already. That's handy. Good enough. So yeah, I don't know how many robots we dumped there. 400? I mean, most of them probably weren't actually doing that much, but just taking them out of the system has got to help. And then we have all these inserters we've picked up as well. Let's get rid of all that. Let's get rid of the weird signaling going on here. Let's get rid of those two. Pick up that one manually, I guess. And we need some normal signals there. Just, you know, there isn't that much traffic that's going to get down here anymore. Oh, this thing here is pointless. Fairly sure I may have mentioned it in the past that unnecessary electrical connections cost you in the end. So if you don't need them, don't use them. Use substations over it doesn't really matter. Use substations over medium poles if you can, because you need less of them. It doesn't matter how the fact that they're 5 times the price and that they take up more room. If you can fit them into your build, use them instead. Okay, what else have we got? We've got all these silly miners that we don't need. Oh, maybe I'll keep some of those. I do have too much stuff in there. Let's just get rid of all that. Probably want the rubbish train to come here one more time before shredding that as well. Let's have a quick check on production. 6 and 4, we've got 10, there are 15 to go. So I doubt it will actually be finished, but you can see that it is being useful in terms of reducing the store that we've got up here. So that's got to be good. Did I not connect this one up? Ah, there it is. Low density structures. So where did I want to go next is the question. I'm not quite sure why we were having an issue there. What's the... 2 objects are missing construction robots. I don't understand what, but never mind. Okay, that's probably not the very next stop for us though. This one here has what, 250? Yeah, this thing is almost gone. Iron 9, there's only that one train left. I don't think it's going to get filled. I mean, in truth, we have actually added an iron mine up the top. It was our ghost mine. We've added that one into the top. Maybe I'll come up here. Did I keep any of my beacons? I have some. So this is called hashtag iron9. There you go. That's on its way. What is our circuit networks? 0.45. That's kind of a lot actually. It's basically nothing here now. I think we will take the slot away. Now what's this stuff? What's the matter, guys? Never mind. I don't really need to worry about that. I'm going to get rid of this stop as well. Manual. Turn all this off. 4.2. So getting rid of 4.2, 4.3. It's at least 0.010, probably more, to have taken away that rubbish stop. So that's why I did it. This is very messy. There's 2 green on the lines, so we'll know in a minute whether ripping that out is destroying the connection. Doesn't appear to be. I guess that is the main thing. Looks like there was too much junk here anyway. Let's get rid of you. Ooh. There you go. Broken. That's why I was watching it. Let's add that back in. Let's add this back in. Yep, good. Don't need all these signals. You wouldn't even know there was a major part of our infrastructure from the earlier game sitting up there anymore. Now, the other thing that I would like to do is probably see if I can fix this smelter thing. Let me see how this is getting on. 12. Okay. Thanks, autosave. So let's head over to hashtag iron smelting. That one's gone. Iron smelting 5. And yeah, I'd like to get to the bottom of why my circuit network from over there is not working, and it looks like there's more wires here that I should get rid of. So we'll certainly look into that. If we find one of these that is not broadcasting the signal of the green energy, that's why we're getting the strobe effect, because I'm trying to look for where that one might be broken. So that's good to that point. It's good going around this corner. That doesn't have it. Can you stop for a second, please, train? Yes, I believe we found a breakage just up here. Whoa. It's good to there. From here on in, it's garbage. So, you need to connect from there to there. And from there to there. And that's probably all it's going to take to re-establish our supply network down this side, but you never know. 25. There we go. Done. We're still taping, aren't we? Yes. So guys, we have finished the whole components, 25 of them. I don't know how much longer this is going to take. These are probably slowing down now. Yes, we're down to just the prod modules building up. This is fairly anemic. 12,000 a minute over any length of time. Let's launch these. With a bit of luck, that will finish while we're launching them. And we can see in faster than light theory B. Let's head off to rocket cargo. 2 products in 1 episode, guys. What more can you want? 50 launches in total, a little bit of minor base maintenance in between times. I still have some more major things to do, like fix this up if I can be bothered. We'll see. I mean, the base is doing alright, but it's not really being pushed at this point, is it? When that gets back over 500, we'll know about it. So, yeah, for now it's not really getting pushed. That doesn't save us anything, does it? No, not really. Down the detour. Circuit alley is surprisingly quiet right at the second, probably because nothing is pulling in into and out of the module area, so saying it looks like we are getting some level 1 modules heading down into the speed module area. But, oh no, they're still loading up. So that's interesting. I don't know if I actually called the engineering train to go down there. Let's just make sure it does to join us. Hashtag silo on your bikes, please, mister. This is so close. Everything's going to happen at once, guys. Just give it a couple more minutes or so. That is like a pixel, if that. At 12,000 science per minute, it really shouldn't take very long. Let's get out of here. So this is whole components. We can add to this list. Whole components, there you go. Pick them up, guys. Once more we'll get deafened. Well, by once I mean 3 more times in stereophonic sound, and once more with a quick little solo launch. Reasonably expensive components these, but nothing like some of them. I mean, we did them all within one episode, so they can't be that expensive now, can they? And here we are here, 8. One more quick cycle. Good grief, this is close. Close, but not quite there. I don't care that we've had tens of thousands of launches from this facility. I still love it every time it happens. And look at that beautiful synchronicity. 16, 9 to go. How much longer is this going to go? Can't be all that long. Pretty sure I started the recording when it was about here, and it's only been like an hour. So that must only be a few minutes, surely. See the rocket parts ticking up at a pretty vigorous rate. "24 habitation components." You know, there's really only 2 more that we are likely to want to do before it's really just blitz to the end. It's kind of sad in a way that the playthrough seems to be sort of towards the end of its cycle. But I guess all good playthroughs do come to an end. Not sure what I'll do with this map when we're done, but I mean, it's not optimized for being a 6K science map per minute. So like a vanilla, it's not optimized to be a vanilla science. Doesn't matter how many K it is, it's not optimized for vanilla science. So I'm not quite sure what we'll do there. Perhaps start again. 17 should be out fairly soon. By soon it's probably a couple of months away, so don't start quoting me on and expecting it any day now. but when they start telling you about the features of the next version, you know it's kind of just around the corner, in a couple of months, possibly less. There's the final one, habitation. 25 habitation components. Boom. Alright, we need to go back up, get something else into the cook pot, as it were. Quite possibly on the way, this thing will go boom, because that's what we're waiting for. SpaceX components on the way. Come on, science, pull your finger out, go bang for me, or pop, or whatever it is you do. We've had enough of red-only science. We want to mix it up, make it a little bit more interesting. Let's go pop. Any time now, science. This is like the kettle that never boils. If you watch it, it never boils, so you got to go away and do something else. But it's a little bit hard when I'm showing you the action just to wander off and, oh look, there it is. Because I want to get to the moment. I don't want to have too much time wasted between it goes pop and us starting the next science. We just want to get on with it. But I think, you know, being this close to it and just missing it is kind of not what we want. So, come on, science. You know you want to finish it up. 16 million, see, it's 16 million science. I'm sure some of the vanilla playthroughs that just crank out the bot speed and productivity research, you've probably got bot speed up to 16 million, because it doesn't take that long for it to get to that sort of point. But if all you're doing is the science, you don't have these other little things to do, such as make these components. I'm not sure if another pixel just got filled in, but it looks like we are so close to that. Can barely see any daylight between the end of the green and the end of the area it goes into. You'd have to think it's going to pop. Pop, pop, pop! Come on! Alright. I might do, well, it doesn't really matter. Astrometrics or life support doesn't really matter. What's the easiest to set up? I think life support needs pipes, which I might need to, that's life support there, yeah, it needs pipes. Pipes aren't a very big deal though. I could set up pipes here. What else does life support need? Nothing, just pipes. Pipes. Oh. Why did you stop? No, because you got 36 in there. Oh, we've only got 100 in there. There you go. Now you, yeah, I am not picking that up. Get rid of that again. Let's get rid of you. We're going to need to put plastic up here again. Say 5,000. Good. We're gone. Next. Life support. Productivity modules. Processing units. No plastic. We're definitely not ordering anymore. Good, no. Okay. Which one has productivity modules? That one does. Okay, you can be productivity modules in the amount of 100. That's probably fine. Processing units. That's probably fine. I guess you can be pipe. The amount of 100. And low density structures, right. And up here we will put life support in for 25. We'll change this to life support. That one, that one, that one, and that one. Should probably have 2 lots of pipe. So that moves along at a decent clip. I don't know how many of these we've got. 40,000, that's plenty. We don't even need to order them. These guys, we've only got 4,000. I guess we'll put them back in. This one will be iron, which is a lot easier for us. What have we got? -3, because we must have a lot of iron here already. 27,000 we do, so it's not likely to actually need to order a whole lot. But we'll do that anyway, and this can be trains on the way. Less than P, we will use iron from source 1. This one here can be, I'm not sure if we're even going to need them. We got 30,000, so it's actually kind of unlikely, but trains on the way, less than P, get blue circuits. And this one here, how much have we got? 3,700. Actually, that's fairly low. We probably will order this one. Trains on the way, less than P. Let us order some LDS. And we've got tons of that one, haven't we? Yes, we have, so I'm not even going to bother. What are you up to? Still don't have enough pipe. There we go. That should help. Oh, that's not going to help. We need to make the blue inserter one of them. We've already got one. We need to also do our thing down here where we change these to, I'm going to put it in this one first just for mixing it up. Life support, and you can go there. There we go. One on the way. Come on, buddy. We've been waiting around long enough. I guess multiplying the science by the 4x marathon multiplier does mean that we spend an awful lot of time in each of these sciences. So, I mean, I wanted to, partly so we could do this kind of thing and get quite a lot of it done during the first phase, but it does mean there isn't going to be that much to do during green and blue science other than minor attention to the factory. But that's good too, because we can crunch through them. I can run the computer overnight and just make sure that nothing dies, that sort of thing, which is fine. We'll be wrapping up very quickly at this rate. So how are we doing? We have 24 to go. You're still waiting on pipe to load, okay. How much iron do we have? 24,000. Let me just make sure that the iron is being requested from buffer chests. It's not. That's what we needed to change. That will help things along the way. Back in action with the pipes. There it is! Faster than light, Theory A finished. Straight on to Theory B, guys. We don't need to muck around. Onto it. Let's have a look at the acceleration in the science area. These are ticking straight back up to 12k, hopefully. There you go, 12k. Minute, they won't quite be there, but it shouldn't take them very long. Where's green? Way down there. It's up here for 5 seconds, so for a minute it shouldn't be too far off. Well, anyway, I think it will be there. On the production side, it will all have buffered up, so it will take quite a while for it to build up. But we'll get there eventually. It looks like we still have 2 of these doing 220 per minute. That's nice. Shall we have a quick look at all time? Oh my goodness, 3.4 billion iron plate, 2.1 billion copper, 1.8 billion. This is going to get to 2 billion for sure, guys. This will get to 400 million at least. I doubt that will get to 100 million, but you never know. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I look forward to seeing you in the next, and bye-bye for now. Yeah, that will do.